Hello, students, and welcome back to Career Bits podcast. We are here again to talk about experiential education, and we would be remiss if we did not mention and talk about co-ops. So joining us today is Mr. Jim Novak. He's the Assistant Director of Experiential Education in the Career Center. Jim, welcome.
Hello, Patrick.
Glad to have you here. So Jim, help students understand what the heck is a co-op and how is it different than an internship?
A co-op, cooperative education, is really, as the name says, it's a cooperation between the university, the student, and industry who are putting students into full-time, alternating, or perhaps back-to-back semester opportunities to gain career-related experience while they're going to school.
So what I'm hearing is one of the biggest differences between an internship and a co-op is that you could be doing something full-time during the fall and spring in some way or another, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And
okay.
Normally, especially the College of Engineering, they would like you to commit to 3 semesters, full-time semesters, as a co-op.
Gotcha.
In return, you're registered for a transcript notation course while you're co-oping. And then when you return to campus, you take a co-op seminar course where you make a presentation to your co-op faculty advisor about the opportunity. And you'll gain 1 credit hour for that seminar experience.
Gotcha. And can you give us some examples, I guess, of typical projects that students might see on a co-op if they are an engineering student or maybe even a computer science student? Those seem to be the industries that do this a lot, right?
Yes. Well, I would talk about it in broader terms of the co-ops usually are getting exposure to the engineering environment and the company in a range of business functions, from research and development to manufacturing to sales and supply chain. So there could be, in research and development, there's testing, there's building product prototypes, and you're assisting a team, in that. With manufacturing, it's anywhere from overseeing a line, looking at the production line and seeing, what kind of problems, there might be in the production, the timing of it, just improving the production process in any way. With sales, you'll be maybe doing inside sales, maybe you'll do some kind of just support of the sales group so you can get a sense of what it is. And really, sales in engineering is problem solving. You really should look at it as problem solving. Company produces a product that is really going to solve an engineering problem, and that's what you're explaining to the client, and that's really what you're selling.
Gotcha. So they could be exposed to many different parts of the business as a co-op. And the one thing, a lot of students will ask us about is if I'm working full-time at a co-op, I'm not taking any classes during that time. Is that right?
Right. Yes. Normally,
but I'm still part of the university?
Right. You are normally not taking any classes.
Okay.
What you do is once you get a co-op, you sit down with your co-op faculty advisor and you devise the semesters that you'll be working and the semesters that you'll be back in school.
Okay.
And you really should be looking at your curriculum so that when you're working, you're devoted to work full time. When you're in school, you're devoting to school full time.
So Jim, you were talking about this idea that, students are in college, it might be 5 years. It says it really depends on their academic sort of thing. But it sounds like you recommend, if a company is going to allow you to do a co-op, a lot of times they're paid, you would recommend students really pay attention and try to do one of those, right?
Oh, for sure. Because co-ops can start as soon as the first semester after your freshman year. So it's open to sophomores and juniors in particular. And you can start very early. The pay is usually very good. Some of the co-ops are making twice the minimum wage. And again, the employers are not concerned with when you graduate. It's what you graduate with. They want you to have that degree, but the experience is going to be even more important to them. And if you can talk about a co-op opportunity, you're going to be golden to an employer, because you've not only studied it all, but you've seen how it's been implemented in the business setting. And again, especially if the employer takes you through several areas of the business, research and development, manufacturing, sales, that's particularly valuable to your employer. And of course, about 60% of students who co-op and stay with the same company are often hired right into that company.
That's good to hear.
So it's a real win-win-win, and that's why it's cooperative between the school and the employer and the student, because all benefit. And the school wants you to get your degree. That's really why co-op scheme was developed. Mm-hmm. The university wants you to get your degree, and so that's why you work with your academic advisor to make sure you're moving along in your coursework. But industry has opportunities that a lower level student can handle, and that'll really help you pay for your education. So again, that's the win-win-win is, again, you're really being able to pay for your education while you're gaining it, and you're gaining that valuable experience all at the same time.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Jim, for joining us on our Career Bits podcast. Students, we talked a lot about experiential education. It's internships, co-ops, service learning, research, and even study abroad, and many other different ways to get experience on your resume. So stay tuned for more from Career Bits, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Patrick.